Ultra-processed trap. Ultra-processed food rewires your DNA faster than almost anything else you eat. Scientists studying biological aging now have tools to measure how old your cells actually are compared to your birth certificate, and what they are finding about ultra-processed food is genuinely alarming. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition tracked over 800 adults and found that those who consumed the highest amounts of ultra-processed foods had measurably older biological ages at the cellular level compared to those who ate the least. This is where it gets worse. The damage is not happening slowly over decades. Researchers found that even moderate weekly consumption of ultra-processed products accelerated a biological aging marker called epigenetic clocking, meaning your cells were aging faster than your calendar years should allow. The real danger is that ultra-processed food is not just junk food anymore. It includes packaged breads, flavored yogurts, breakfast cereals, protein bars, and hundreds of products marketed as healthy that contain industrial additives your body was never designed to process. The sugar aging clock. Sugar ages your skin and your organs through a process most people have never heard of. It is called glycation, and it is one of the most destructive chemical reactions that happens inside your body every single time you consume excess sugar. When sugar molecules enter your bloodstream, they attach to proteins and fats, forming toxic compounds called advanced glycation end products, or AGEs. Researchers at the Leiden University Medical Center found that people with higher levels of AGEs in their blood appeared visibly older and had measurably more arterial stiffness than people with lower levels. But here is the problem. Glycation does not just affect your skin, it attacks collagen throughout your entire body, stiffening the flexible tissue that keeps your arteries, joints, kidneys, and eyes functioning properly. The real danger is that this process accelerates dramatically when blood sugar spikes repeatedly throughout the day, which means frequent snacking on sweet foods creates a near constant state of internal biological aging that compounds silently over years. The oil nobody questions. Vegetable oils sitting in your kitchen cabinet may be one of the most underestimated aging accelerators on the planet. Refined seed oils like soybean oil, corn oil, sunflower oil, and canola oil are extraordinarily high in omega-6 polyunsaturated fatty acids, which oxidize rapidly when exposed to heat during cooking. A study published in the journal Oxidative Medicine and Cellular Longevity found that oxidized lipids from heated vegetable oils trigger systemic inflammation at a cellular level, directly promoting the kind of chronic low-grade inflammatory state that researchers now call one of the primary biological drivers of accelerated aging. This is where it gets worse. These oils are not just in your home kitchen. They are in virtually every restaurant meal, every packaged snack, every fast food item, and most commercially prepared foods. The average person consuming a modern Western diet is ingesting these oxidized compounds multiple times per day without any awareness of the inflammatory cascade being triggered with every meal. Alcohol shrinks your DNA. Alcohol damages your telomeres, and nobody is talking about it loudly enough. Telomeres are the protective caps on the ends of your DNA strands, and their length is one of the most reliable biological indicators of how fast you are aging at the cellular level. A major study published in Molecular Psychiatry analyzed the telomere length of over 245,000 people and found that alcohol consumption was directly associated with shorter telomere length, with heavier drinkers showing cellular aging equivalent to adding years onto their biological age. But here's the problem. The damage threshold was lower than most people assume. Even moderate drinking, defined as around 14 drinks per week, was associated with measurable telomere shortening compared to non-drinkers. The real danger is that alcohol also depletes folate, disrupts sleep architecture, increases cortisol, and damages the liver's ability to process toxins, creating a multi-system aging effect that reaches far beyond the occasional hangover most people focus on. The danger of the grill. Charred and grilled meat is producing the same toxic aging compounds inside your body as cigarette smoke. This is not an exaggeration. When meat is cooked at high temperatures, particularly on a grill or open flame, it produces compounds called heterocyclic amines and polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. Research published by the National Cancer Institute found these compounds are powerful pro-inflammatory agents that directly damage DNA, accelerate cellular aging, and increase cancer risk with regular consumption. This is where it gets worse. The same glycation compounds discussed with sugar, those advanced glycation end products, are also produced in massive quantities during high heat cooking of any animal protein. Studies show that people who regularly eat well-done grilled or charred meat have significantly higher circulating levels of AGEs than those who cook at lower temperatures using methods like steaming, poaching, or slow cooking. The real danger is not the meat itself, but the temperature at which it is prepared, a distinction almost nobody makes at the dinner table. White bread's hidden attack. Refined white bread is flooding your body with an aging trigger that most people completely overlook. White bread, white rice, white pasta, and most commercially baked goods are digested almost instantly, causing rapid blood sugar spikes that trigger the same glycation cascade as eating pure sugar. But here's what makes refined grains particularly insidious. They have been stripped of the fiber, vitamins, and minerals that would normally slow their absorption and buffer their impact on blood sugar regulation. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that diets high in refined grains were associated with significantly elevated levels of C-reactive protein, one of the most reliable blood markers of chronic systemic inflammation. The real danger is the frequency effect. Most people eat refined grains at nearly every meal: breakfast toast, a sandwich at lunch, pasta for dinner, creating an unbroken chain of blood sugar spikes and inflammatory responses throughout the entire day that collectively produce a measurable acceleration of biological aging over time. The fat that never left. Artificial trans fats were banned in many countries, but their chemical cousins are still quietly aging your cardiovascular system, while industrially produced trans fats from partially hydrogenated oils have been largely removed from food supplies following regulatory bans. A related category called interesterified fats has quietly replaced them in many processed and packaged foods. Research published in Nutrition and Metabolism found that interesterified fats raised blood glucose levels and lowered HDL cholesterol, the protective form, in ways that directly promote cardiovascular aging and arterial stiffness. This is where it gets worse. These replacement fats appear in margarine, commercial baked goods, non-dairy creamers, microwave popcorn, and many frozen meal products without clear labeling that distinguishes them from healthier fat sources. The real danger is consumer trust. People who believe they are making healthier choices by avoiding obvious trans fat labels may still be consuming metabolically harmful fat replacements that are accelerating vascular aging with every serving. Salt in your arteries. Excess salt is aging your blood vessels in ways that go far beyond blood pressure. Most people understand that high sodium intake raises blood pressure, but the damage salt does to vascular health operates through additional mechanisms that are rarely discussed publicly. Research published in the European Heart Journal found that high sodium diets directly stiffen arterial walls independently of blood pressure effects, accelerating a form of vascular aging called arteriosclerosis even in people whose blood pressure readings appear normal. But here's the problem. The primary source of excess sodium is not the salt shaker on your table. It is the hidden sodium packed into processed soups, deli meats, canned foods, condiments, restaurant meals, and packaged snacks, often in amounts that exceed an entire day's recommended intake in a single serving. Scientists now believe that chronic high sodium intake also disrupts the gut microbiome, reduces nitric oxide production in blood vessel walls, and promotes systemic inflammation,